This is Montana This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Brin Merkley. Good evening. I'm Brin Merkley in for Brenda Bassett. Good evening. I'm Brin Merkley. A sad day on the University of Montana campus with the deaths of 2 students in separate incidents. Missoula law enforcement is investigating after a student was found dead in a University of Montana dorm room. The parasite is called Toxoplasma gondii. And according to the CDC, approximately 60 million people in the U.S. may be carrying it. I'm here outside an abandoned home where Missoula Police Department special teams are simulating a hostage scene. After roughly 13 hours of searching for the vehicle, search and rescue crews just pulled a body from it. And officials on scene said it was a miracle to respond to a call like this where nobody was hurt. And both say investigating an avalanche is something they've never done before. There were plenty of tears, but it was not a normal graduation ceremony for a young man from Malta, Montana. Far from it.
A woman's cries of rape from the Higgins Street Bridge sent a group of men below into action.
Now, it happened late last night, and MTN's Brin Merkley was there moments after it happened, witnessing the arrest and getting the story from those who came to the rescue. Brin joins us now live from near where this man was arrested last night. Brin.
Mike, Jill, I was in this area last night when I noticed cop cars and dozens of people yelling and shouting. A group of witnesses told me that they had just finished chasing down a man who they saw assaulting a woman on this bridge. And as she screamed for help, they said they jumped into action. Without the help of these concerned citizens, it's hard to say what could have happened to a woman attacked by a stranger Tuesday night on Higgins Bridge.
She was yelling, "He's raping me," and we all just booked it up the stairs, chased him a block until we tackled him in here, and the cops arrived.
28-year-old William Sandel was arrested for felony aggravated assault and is currently being held on $50,000 bond after witnesses say they saw him on top of a woman as she screamed for help. Missoula Police spokesman Travis Welsh says Sandel came up behind the victim, restrained her arms, and pulled her to the ground. He added that they are not acquainted in any way. We interviewed Austin Vandehey and several friends again today. They were sitting below the bridge last night.
And when it first started happening, we thought maybe it was just a joke going on, and then we saw her hit the ground and her legs hanging off the bridge and her yelling help.
And there was a dude standing over her, and he got down, crouched down, and he was just on his hands and knees over her.
And that's when everyone who was around us just jumped up and started running.
They say Sandel jumped off the woman and fled northbound. As they chased him into Karas Park, Morgan says it was another bystander who was playing football who was able to stop him.
He threw his football at the dude's head and knocked him down.
Meanwhile, Kerner says he watched as another bystander jumped in to help.
One of the ladies who had come by on a bike and was calling the police, she had gotten over the railing before I got up there and was holding her, and she was just sobbing and just, buried herself into this other woman.
Witnesses say the police arrived after several people had beaten up Sandel, one allegedly stabbing him in the arm. Police assessed his wounds before handcuffing him for aggravated assault. MPD spokesperson Travis Welsh says the woman was not seriously injured and the investigation is ongoing. Sandel is expected to appear in Justice Court tomorrow.
The showers tomorrow, 55, 61 on Tuesday, 65 on Friday.
All right, thanks, Russ. Still ahead on MTN, biologists are solving the puzzle of this mysterious algae found in Montana. Good evening, I'm Brin Merkley. Senator Jon Tester paid a visit to West Glacier Friday morning. How much fun would it be for middle school students to write on the wall and not get in trouble for it? Between parking, luggage, passports, and trying to catch a plane on time are all stresses that loom when trying to catch a flight out. Today, I spoke with staff to get some tips on how to reduce that stress, and I also found out that they're tackling it right at the door. He's an anonymous Secret Santa like no other. And this year, he gave Kansas City police officers the chance to thank law-abiders like never before. Well, it sounds like it's going to be pretty wet outside. Yeah. We're going to need to wear our boots and our jackets, bring your umbrellas.
Oh my goodness, everything.
Don't fix your hair too much.
Yeah, don't even bother with the hair this weekend.
We're the Montana Mafia. We control the deal.
There's no bigger hick than a big city hick.
TBN Entertainment founder and chairman Brian Naff speaks from experience. For a guy that has developed and managed the careers of numerous international recording artists and runs the largest outsource of casino showroom entertainment in the country, who would guess Naff grew up on his dad's farm in Glasgow, Montana? But Naff is just one of several big shot Montana natives with similar beginnings.
One of them was a Rolling Stones accountant. One of them was the head of William Morris in Beverly Hills, the biggest booking agency, from Great Falls. People that discovered Alan Jackson were from Red Lodge, a guy named James Yelich. Shania Twain's agent was from Big Fork. It just went on and on and on.
They're known as the Montana Mafia, but the group is far from criminal. In fact, they're all University of Montana alumni, and their careers started right here on campus. After graduating in the 70s, all went their separate ways to deal with and dominate the glitz and the glam of the industry. In 2001, they came back to UM and started the entertainment management program with money raised at a concert.
When I handed a check for $142,000 to Larry Guyanchetta at the School of Business, I think it woke him up that the Mafia was there to stay.
For years, Mafia members have flown back to Montana to instruct classes, dishing out the tricks of the trade, which led me to my next question. Is the Mafia growing?
It's growing actually exponentially, breeding like rabbits.
We still have a lot of people out there, and more every day. So it's been really interesting. There's something in the water here.
They say Montanans stand out in the business.
It's something about a hardiness here. It's something about the way we're raised here. There's a lot of values instilled. There's a lot of pride.
It's just amazing the amount of people that have gone out and thrived in the industry, coming from a little, backwoods state like Montana. It's pretty amazing.
And there's new blood coming up. Having learned the most valuable Mafia lesson, stick to your guns.
Always express your own story. And, it's all part of being your own person, and people are going to take value and note to that. And that's what gets you ahead in life.
In keeping it alive, NAF says the future of the Mafia is a degree program on campus. But don't ask where they're going to find the money.
What do you think? You think we're not going to find the money? We'll find the money. We'll find the money.
On special assignment, Brin Merkley, MTN News. One of the biggest issues in the United States is mass incarceration. America has roughly 4% of the world population, but the land of the free actually has about 25% of the world's jailed population. 97% of all prisoners will be released back into society at some point, and one of those people is 27-year-old Tommy Holiday.
First time I got out, I reached down and I grabbed a handful of grass and I was shackled together with several other felons in transport to an assessment center, and reached down and grabbed the grass, and I was just elated. I had gotten the transport vehicle with them and showed it off,
Tommy served 2 years after he was charged with felony possession of dangerous drugs and felony burglary. Now on pre-release, Tommy has the opportunity to prove that he can live in society. But this is easier said than done. And if you think getting a job is hard, our culture has made it even harder for convicted felons.
Their whole demeanor changes, you see it in their eyes. It's a combination of, condensation and anxiety, paranoia, and they just look at you slightly like you're not to be trusted, and you see that, and it is demoralizing.
Partners for Reintegration co-chair Janice Staten says the second immediate issue for people with records is housing. She says many landlords just don't want to take the risk.
If you can't get a job and you don't have housing and you don't know anybody and you're kind of shunned and you think you have a big C on your forehead and you can't afford to pay for outpatient drug treatment or alcohol counseling, I don't know, going back to the bottle or prison looks good.
Statistics show 40% of offenders nationwide return to state prisons within 3 years of being released. Of those who return in Montana, over half return in the first year. Staten works on a community coalition called Partners for Reintegration to combat that. And the goal is to create opportunities to encourage successful community reintegration by partnering with everyone from landlords, healthcare providers, and business owners, like Days Inn General Manager Sanjay Patel, who was a little camera shy but had great things to say about the convicted felons that he's hired.
If you want to compare to me for my side, I'm honest with you. They are more punctual than the regular people, and they are more responsible than another people. We should support them and we should try to give them a chance. That's what I believe in.
The city of Missoula says opportunities like employment, access to housing, social relationships, and more can help reduce future victims of crime and increase public safety. Staten says this is the beginning of an important conversation needed in every community.
When do we ever stop being imprisoned by our past that's a real, I guess, ethical issue for the country. Do we really want to lock everybody up for life and make sure they can never succeed again?
On special assignment, Brin Merkley, MTN News. Well, that's all we have for the show tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. CBS This Morning is next.